Okay, here we go. Vampire Count's turn 3. Okay, so he declares a charge with his Vargulf into my Knights Errant. If I remember right, I failed my terror test. It could be that I chose to flee. I think I failed my terror test. Because the enemy in the way rule, he was able to redirect into my questing knights, and I held. And I think I held because I was counting on their strength 5 and whatever. Hindsight being 2020, I think that was a huge mistake. If I would have fled with them, there's a real good chance that Vargulf would have had a failed charge at 6 inches, and my Grail Reliquew would have had a flank charge on him. And starting with static combat res 5, with a 4-up armor and a what would be a 5-up ward, they'd have a real good chance to kill him through combat res, and if not on my turn, on the following turn. So, but him charging that Questing Knight unit, I don't know what the odds are on that, but in hindsight, I wouldn't have done it. So the Reliquews on the hill, I feel confident with their ability to hold my flank as long as the BSB's there, and as long as they don't get into combat with the Graveguard unit. He charged the zombies at the bottom into my men-at-arms. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to kill them through combat res, I think. And so my plan is to use the men-at-arms to redirect the Graveguards. Notice my fast cavern out there. He charged me with his direwolves, and I fled, and I think he caught me. What if he didn't? No, he didn't. There I am. But anyway, fast cav fled, so they're no longer able to redirect the Graveguard. There's another look at the board. So after combat, my general is still locked in combat there. I think this time I did declare a challenge, and I think I killed the Banshee. If not, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, I'm in a challenge there. We're hanging out in combat. At the end of combat, the Vargulf gets 2 wounds on my BSB, which kills him, which cost me a couple combat res and obviously a few points. And I made a mistake here, but I should have increased my frontage because I think I still won the combat. I think I won it by 1. His BSB was within 12 inches, so he didn't have to take a wound. But that would have allowed me to move a 4th knight up there, which would have at least given me a chance for an extra wound on that Vargulf. And another silly mistake I made was I forgot that my champion has 2 attacks. I forgot that I had a champion there. So, it's hard to win that thing. It may not have made a difference, but I don't like making silly mistakes like that. So, Brett turn 3, Knights Errant on the right, they rally. The Knights of the Realm at the top. I don't know why I didn't charge the Vargulf. Either I couldn't fit, or I wasn't in his flank, or I didn't want to. I don't think I worried about risking the terror test. But for whatever reason, I decided to choose. I decided to charge the small zombie unit. And the Vargulf made terror tests on these 2 units, and they both failed them, which was huge. Absolutely huge. Now the Graveguard unit has free access to my questing knights, and therefore the rest of my knights. So I consider that a bit of bad luck there. The Pegasus Knights failed their fear test on the corpse cart, and that's especially huge because I'm barely in line of sight of his ghouls, and he's going to be able to charge me on his turn. Oy, 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 oy. So that was an unfortunate turn for me. That's another look at the board. In combat, you notice I am whittling down this race, but those are 2 wounds on my general. So that's kind of a dicey combat. The Knights of the Realm wipe out the small unit of zombies as expected. They get into the flank of the ghouls, which I thought was good, but that corpse cart right there is going to give the ghouls always strike first, and they get 2 attacks each, and they're strength 4, and they're poisoned, and so that's going to be a little bit dicier a combat than I would have hoped. I really have no chance of winning it anytime soon unless I get some help over there. And with this Graveguard unit coming, I don't really have much of a chance of getting some help over there. So I'm not sure what I was thinking, but again, I'm not sure what other options I had. I think I probably had some better options, but that's what I did. So VC turn 4. He moves his Graveguard up. He can't really get in the combat where he needs to be. You can see the top left corner, his ghouls charge my Pegasus Knights. During his magic phase, if you look at the bottom, he grew a unit of zombies there, and if you look just over the hill towards the right, he grew a unit of zombies behind my Questing Knights. So there's another look at the board. Not sure why I took that picture. You can see there's 2 wounds on the Vargulf, though, Little moral victories there. Another thing that happened here is when he grew that unit at the bottom, he tried to Van Hels them into my Grail Reliquary, which was already fleeing, which would have caused me to probably flee off the board. It cost me my last scroll to stop that. I felt pretty lucky so far to still have a scroll left on turn 4. But anyway, and you can see at the top, I did that unit a little bit. I think I only lost 1 knight out of my Knights of the Realm, and I increased my frontage. The top left ghouls killed my Pegasus Knights, chased them down. So Brett turn 4. Both my peasant units at the bottom fled. I decided to take my Knights Errant unit and charge the zombies at the bottom. It actually gave me a good way out. My thinking is if I can charge him, beat him, and overrun, I might get out of line of sight of his Graveguard, and it'll save that unit at least. Otherwise, you can see what's going on there. Yep, that's after combat. I've wiped out the small unit of zombies, and I overran and just barely am out of sight of that Graveguard unit. My Questy Knights lost another guy. They're still hanging out. So we go VC turn 5. He gets the easy charge into the flank of my Questy Knights with his Graveguard unit. Auto break me, and the Vargulf chases me down. Now it says turn 5, and it looks like he set up for a beautiful flank on my Knights of the Realm. The problem is this game is already way too far over, and so the organizers told us this is the last turn. So it played out to my advantage, because if had we gone to turn 6, he would have charged into the flank of my Knights of the Realm and wiped that unit out. So, yeah, anyways, that was, I guess, good luck. Not really, I hate long games. Anyway, on my turn, I charged the Knights Errant into the wolves. This is a sign of how distracted I was. I charged the damsel at the wolves as well because I didn't want him to flee and get away, which is absolutely ludicrous for 2 reasons. 1, he can't flee, and 2, if he did flee, we were at the last turn of the game and he would have lost his points anyway. So I risked the damsel for nothing. It ended up okay. My Knights Errant obliterated the unit before they could attack back. So we went 5 turns, ran out of time. This is the end of the game. So solid victory to the vampires. Really, he's lost relatively few points. I took out a big unit of zombies and a unit of 2 units of wolves, because the one in the middle of the screen is dead. He took out, my general, my BSB, my Questy Knights, my fast cav, and my bowman. So I don't know if we added up points or not. Whatever. It's in this tournament. There was solid marginal and massacres. I believe this was a solid victory to the vampires. So, real fun game. I liked it. I really liked the way he played his magic phase, and his maneuvering I thought was really good. In hindsight, I didn't realize this then. After looking at the pictures, there's a few things I would change that might have made some differences, but yeah, that's probably true in every game you lose. Overall, it was a fun game, and I start the tournament off with 1 loss. Hope you enjoyed it.